Hi, it's Dale Williams for Park Williams Home. Just carrying on with our employment section. Hopefully you just watched the introduction. And if it sounds like a good fit, I'll carry on. And what we're really looking, some key points. We're looking at financial accountability and responsibility. I'm just reading right off a letter that we're using when we place a job placement ad and stuff like that. A good example of what we want to talk about as far as financial accountability goes would be Robert Kiyosaki. He does stuff like this, so this is my hero, I guess you'd call him. His name is Robert Kiyosaki. He's the author of the Rich Dad, Poor Dad series, and he also brought a game out that was called Cash Flow. And I think he's a really incredible fellow. I've never met him personally, just basically read all his books. And if you want to really understand us as a company, I could probably have to stand here for hours, weeks, months, just talking. It's better, zip up to the library, pick up one of his books, and glance through it. Two books I really recommend you look at are Rich Dad, Poor Dad and Cash Flow Quadrant. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Cash Flow Quadrant. And that's the financial end of, a good example of what we use as our true north, as our foundation of our financial thinking. For the type of job site, how we interact with each other, we're very much looking at kind of the win-win aspect of things. And a good book or author for that is Dr. Stephen Covey. I hope I've got this spelled right. And he's got all kinds of initials after his name, PhD or yada, yada, yada. Dr. Stephen Covey did 7 Habits of Highly Successful People and many other books. I found when I read it that it was really good. Long story short, his basic thing on the way he looked at life and interactions, and especially in the workplace, was win-win or no deal. So it wasn't, being, we're going to be all loosey-goosey and whatever works kind of thing. It's win-win or forget it, no deal. So it's what he calls it very rigorous, and I agree with it. I think our company's modeled after it. So again, to understand the financial end of what we're looking at, Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and Cash Flow Quadrant, great books to read, and Dr. Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. And there, without me having to stand here for hours and chat about this, I think you'll get a feel for what we are trying to do as a company and will be aiming to do. So from the financial standpoint, what we're looking at doing is we're not looking at paying really high wages. We don't want to pay really low wages. What we want to do is pay wages that are probably like an industry average, just to throw some words out there and describe it. But essentially, we don't really feel that throwing big wages out there is very financially accountable, and we don't feel it's sustainable, because usually those kind of people, they're employed really well while the economy's hot, and then they're all sitting there going, gee, there's no work while the economy cools off or while it stays flat. And we're not really looking for that. The economy goes in cycles, so we're looking at saying, okay, let's build a company that acknowledges that, not just pay people at a level when things are going really great, but paying them in a sustainable fashion. And so what the big thing that Robert talked about is standing on your 2 feet, not just from a standpoint of being a good independent employee, but standing on your 2 feet financially. And he calls it minding your own business. He uses that term, minding your own business, a lot in his books, and it's something that really resonates with us. So minding your own business, how he defines it, it makes people really good employees, and it's something we agree with. If someone's highly motivated, they're going to work really say just that high paycheck earner, which we don't really find fits with our company or its goals. So in the context of this, what we're doing is, let's get rid of Dr. Stephen Covey there for a sec. Sorry about that, Doc.